Hey guys, welcome in. We're already at the halfway point of the season. This season has really flown by. There have been a lot of standout players and players that have really broken out and become all Pac-12 or even All-American candidates. There have also been some disappointments for this USC football team, which we will talk about as well. We're also going to go over my bowl predictions for the second half of the season, and I would love to start including you guys more in the Wednesday videos. So if you have any questions or topics you want addressed, leave them down in the comment section. Alright guys, so let's just get right on into it. So the first award that I'm going to give out is for the best freshman. And my pick for best freshman is redshirt freshman corner Sayre Wright. Now, coming off of last year, some of the comments that Dante Williams made about Sayre Wright made me wonder if he was ever going to play down for USC. And not only has he played, he's a starter and he's playing very well. He had a huge interception in the Oregon State game, and he's done a great job locking down receivers all season. In my opinion, cornerback is the hardest position to play on the entire football field, that's including quarterback, so getting this kind of production out of a redshirt freshman is just a huge bonus. Now the next award is for the biggest surprise player of 2022, and my biggest surprise is edge rusher Solomon Byrd. Anytime you start the first game at the number 3 spot on the depth chart and you rise up to become a starter, and not only a starter but a productive starter, that is not only a great story, but great for this defense that lacks depth on the defensive line. So far in the year, Solomon has 3 sacks and a forced fumble to his name. He has a great pressure rate as well. He has been an awesome surprise so far, and I hope he keeps it up because God knows we need it. Now, the only negative award we have today is the biggest disappointment award, and unfortunately I have to give this to edge rusher Corey Foreman. I had really high hopes for Corey this season coming in with a new defensive staff. Obviously, being the former #1 player in the country, he still has not broken out. He has been getting more playing time as of late, which is a good sign, but he hasn't produced. He's been in and out of the lineup. He's still very young, so there is still time, but he hasn't shown much up to this point. Now the next award is for the offensive MVP, and no shocker to anyone who listens to this channel, it's going to be running back Travis Dye. When Travis transferred to USC in the offseason, all we heard from Oregon fans is that all he does is fumble and run straight into defenders due to his lack of vision. And boy, so far they couldn't have been more wrong. He finally has his chance to be the unquestioned #1 workhorse back, and he's only gone and ran for 571 yards and 6 touchdowns in the first 6 games. He's also added a ton of production in the pass game as well, bringing in 13 catches for 114 yards. He's also been a phenomenal pass blocker. So far, I think it's fair to say that he's the driving force of this offense. We saw him absolutely take over the Washington State game. I think we're going to see it this Saturday night in Salt Lake as well. I think it's going to be a run-first approach with Travis. His leadership is also off the charts. He has been by far the most consistent player on this USC offense, and I think he's well on his way to an all Pac-12 selection. Moving to the defensive side of the ball for the defensive MVP, no surprises here, it's Tuli Tuipulotu. Tuli is not only the best defensive player at USC, he's one of the best in the entire country. He's leading the entire country in sacks with 7. He's well on his way to being a first-team All-American and a first-round draft pick. And of course, the MVP or Most Valuable Player award doesn't just go to the best player, it says valuable. And Tuli adds more value than any player on this entire team. He frees up other guys on that defensive line to get those one-on-one matchups. He forces quarterbacks into bad decisions, which allows the defensive backs to get interceptions. He's just an absolute wrecking ball. He was already a great player, and he's taken another step in this Alex Grinch defense. And the last award I want to give out is to the best position group, and I'm going to give it to the defensive backs. This is a very young position group, but I feel like as a whole, they have been the most dynamic and consistent on the entire team. They've been tackling well, and obviously the interceptions play a huge part. Mekhi Blackman is a true #1 shutdown corner. Damani Jackson has flashed. Kalen Bullock is one of the best safeties in the country. Max Williams is a phenomenal player. I love this secondary, and they're a huge part of why this defense is playing so well. Alright, now it's time for my bold predictions. My first one is that Brendan Rice is the leading receiver in the last 6 games of the season. Brendan hasn't been used as much as I thought he would be up to this point. However, he is getting all the starters reps. Caleb is starting to trust him more on contested catches. I really think he's going to have a huge last half of the year. Number 2 is that the USC defense will finish as the best scoring defense in the Pac-12. This defense is playing outstanding football at the moment. There's also a few games left where they will go up against absolutely anemic offenses like Colorado, Cal, and Notre Dame. And my last bold prediction is that freshman running back Rayleigh Brown will have an epic finish to the season and finish as a freshman All-American. Now, much like Brendan Rice, Rayleigh is a player I had huge expectations for going into this season. We saw him explode in that first game against Rice, but that injury he picked up has really limited him up to this point. but he finally seems to be back to 100%, and he also seems to have passed Austin Jones on the depth chart, so he should be seeing his opportunities increase from here on out. Well, that'll do it for my awards and bold predictions. Let me know yours down in the comments. I absolutely love interacting with you guys and talking USC football. And again, please leave me questions or video suggestions. I would love to hear from you guys and let you have a voice in where this channel goes. Thank you all so much for the support. It honestly means the world. I will talk to you all on Friday when we preview USC's trip to Salt Lake to face off against Utah. Thanks for listening, and fight on.